Hey there everybody, I just wanted to use this video to do two things. One, to tell you that I managed to remember to publish the midterm but not the midterm module, so you should see this now. So for any gap in your achievement that you were unable to see this over the last couple of hours, I apologize. It's up here, up and running now. So if you come in through modules and scroll down, you should be able to see here at session 8, you should be able to see the midterm. I just wanted to talk to you really quickly about the midterm. Number one is you'll notice it is the only thing on tap that is due this week. So keep that in mind. Number two, it is worth 85 points. It is worth 85 quiz and test points. So if you look at the distribution for the grades, that hits particularly hard. So do not overlook the midterm. Do not give yourself not enough time to do it properly. A couple of other things to point out is here under time limit, you will notice that there is no time limit. So that means you can keep coming back to the quiz or the midterm, whatever you want to call it, as many times as you need over the course of the next week. The following things are also true. Number one, do not do the quiz on Internet Explorer ever. Just stop using Internet Explorer. Maybe that's the most fair. Number two, don't use Edge, or actually if you're on a Mac, don't use Safari. Both of those, if you were to do something careless like leave the midterm open for the entire week, both of those expose you to some risk in timing out of your session. My suggestion to you would be either Chrome or Firefox. Both of those will allow you to keep the quiz session open without timing out, and that'll protect you against any weirdness for the most part. Number two is Eagle saves your answers when you hit next for the button. So if you are going to do the midterm in chunks, right, you're going to divide it up into thirds. You're going to go back and forth and do it a little bit now, a little bit later. What I would do is, when you're finished with a question, make sure that you hit next so that you can go to the next question. Your previous response was saved, and then you don't have to worry about closing that tab and coming back to it later, because Eagle will have stored your previous responses. As far as responses in Eagle go, I will tell you there are a couple of true and false, but for the most part, it is you responding to open-ended or to coding questions. In both of those cases, indentation is part and parcel of the entire pseudocode, the idea behind all of pseudocode. I am going to be looking at your indentation very, very carefully. Things I can suggest are as follows. If you indent properly in the text areas that you have in Eagle, it should preserve the formatting. Now, I cannot prove that that is true on Chromebooks. I know that it's true on Windows and Mac machines. I cannot prove that it is true if you're using an iPad as your only entry for these. So what I can tell you is that I will accept a Word document or a Sublime text document with all of your responses in there so that I can confirm what your indentation, schematics are. So you can submit alongside of your midterm, you can submit a Sublime or a Word document, and then I can see what your indentation is doing. Other things of note are, number one, there is no time limit, so you do not have to worry about burning time on that. Number two, you do not have multiple attempts, so don't ask. Number three is the submit button and the next question button look really similar. Make sure you're hitting the right one. You can always go back, view responses, so you can go back and see your response to a previous item. It will not show you the correct answers. It will, however, show you only one question at a time, but you can go back. The questions are not locked after you are done. This is the only deliverable for the week. So make sure that you are giving it the time and attention that is necessary. After this week, we will, number one, we'll look at some more up-to-date data structures as far as pseudocode goes. And there is another in-class project team activity that's coming up down the pike. It is the week of October 20-something. So by the end of this week, I will send out a message with times that you can sign up and days that are not simply 20-something October. So good luck, get moving, and remember, if you have questions, you can reach out and I can provide some feedback.